Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach, Jeff Copper. And today I'm here because I want to tell a story, because I think a lot of people are all paying attention to the wrong thing. If you've been watching my channel for a period of time, I've been really pretty clear that ADHD is an executive functioning impairment. An impairment. Impairments need accommodations. Behavioral training it can help to a certain extent, but underlying impairment, you really have to accommodate. Like my eyesight is impaired. Behavioral training is really not going to help me read if I can't see what I'm reading, but my glasses are the accommodation. So this world is all about tips, tricks, and tools right now. More and more, I want tools and I want tips and I need structure. And people are using all this vernacular that's out there, and I think it's really kind of misguided. If you read the books, the productivity books, they're all, whether it's bullet journals or I forget what they block schedules or any type of thing. There's this thing towards the beginning where you break down a task. And so all too often, people will write a task on their to-do list. That's an outcome. That's a goal. That's what you want to achieve. The problem with ADHD is not identifying what you need to do and writing the task down. It's actually sitting down and thinking about what you have to do to get that particular thing done. So literally, I just got off the phone with an individual that I'm coaching, and they're looking for tools and all this kind of stuff. And I said, stop, let's just give me your list. And there was a situation where his daughter's financial calculator needed to be returned. And I said, well, where is it? And he said, well, I've got it, but I don't have the receipt. Well, where's the receipt? Well, my wife has got it. Well, how can you get it from her? By the way, procrastination is often rooted in ambiguity. I didn't know where the receipt was. So we scheduled like an email where he sent to her and said, can you actually send me the receipt? Well, his wife got back to him and said, well, I'm not sure where it is. So they scheduled a time to go to the house to find the receipt. What I want you to understand, there was a lot of detail associated with that. Next, he had to get his car in for service. Well, where is the place for service? Well, it happened to be an hour away. An hour away is a 2-hour round trip, plus when you're there. Well, when can you do that? Well, work's happening during the day, so it's not an easy thing to do. So we talked about when would be a good day where he could go on quiet time so he could drive the hour, leave the car, stay there, and get some work done. Now, he talks on the phone quite a bit, so he can't really do it if you've got a lot of phone calls. It's really kind of a project day. And so we begin to identify Friday was the best day to do it. And the 7 o'clock appointment really made a lot of sense. Anyway, where I'm going with this is we had issue after issue that we went through, and we talked through the details of what he needed to do to execute it. What I was doing is trying to help him think by asking questions. And for some of you that have watched my recent videos, I've got a new program called Cognitive Ergonomics from the Inside Out. It's an engineering approach to managing ADHD. And in the program, we talked about having people ask you questions actually cues your ability to retrieve knowledge, which is what I was doing. I was asking him questions. And then we were collectively talking out loud, and all of a sudden he had a plan. I've said in videos before, thinking and planning are synonyms. That's what they are. People with ADHD, thinking or problem solving inside your head is impaired. They don't want to have it as an impairment, so they keep sitting down and tying tools and tips. The thing about the tools is the tools don't actually do the thinking. The individual does. My point is I was asking him questions and we were collaborating. That made the thinking part easier, and he was finally able to make a plan. In fact, after we talked our way through the different tasks, he actually acknowledged that's far more detailed than he ever thinks it about. And I said, well, that's what planning is. It's a lot of really heavy thinking. This is just a live example. And so you people out there that are walking around like, I need a tip, a trick, or a strategy, and you're like, you're avoiding everything except making the thinking easier. I think you're kind of misguided, and that's why you're finding a lot of those things out there just aren't working. They're tools to help you think. The tools don't actually do the thinking for you. So what do you do about that? Well, that's where coaching and some other things come in, because the question is what do you need to do to make it easier for you to think? That's the ultimate holy grail. Anyway, I hope you found some inspiration in this and or some clarity on what's going on to understand why things aren't working. If you're the type of person that realizing most of this stuff doesn't work and getting frustrated, I invite you to go check out my website and look up cognitive ergonomics from the inside out. This isn't therapy. It's not coaching. It's just we have the technology right now to make objective observations in order to solve for the root cause. I hope I illustrated this here. The task or the goal is just the outcome. It's the thinking part about what you need to do to get it done. That's where the ADHD impairment shows up. What you do is that's too difficult. You escape to do something else. So if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. We try to bring some clarity to the realm of ADHD on a weekly basis. If you're an existing subscriber, what are your thoughts? You've been watching this channel for a long time. Does this bring everything together in a certain sense, or is there anything new? Also, what we do for you. So we certainly like any contribution by hitting the thanks button. So with that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Radio. Attention Talk Video. Screwed up there a little bit. I got those two channels. The podcast is Attention Talk Radio. The video is Attention Talk Video. So anyway, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this. Take care.